What's up, everyone? Welcome back to A Line on the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we are back today with another episode of the Yesterday's Enterprise Build Series and the 1701C. Now, we have spent so much time over the last while on our saucer section, and I said it's time to move on to getting our blue onto the engineering section. So, in the effort to save a little bit of time, I went ahead and started and completed this first piece. First up, we're going to be taking this into the booth today, which is, I'm super excited. I always love airbrushing these days. It's super great now that I got a better handle on how to do things. So what we've done is I've used my saran wrap technique and tape to mark off my area. Now, what I've done this time around, you'll see as we go through and tape off our model, I've incorporated putting down tape over the top of the edge of the saran wrap. With the way the air blows in, it's kind of a moist air. Gross. I can't believe I said that. But the air, it basically winds up just kind of pushing up at the edges, and we wind up having a little bit of bleed through on the saucer section. So, lessons learned. We are going to be taping up our ends again and just using the saran wrap as a way of making sure we don't have to tape the rest of the model. I have incorporated all of our new Tamiya tape and some of our curved line tape up here as well. Now, for sake of clarity, I am recording the previous episode and this episode on the same day, and I am waiting for the Tamiya curved line tape to... I'm basically waiting for the paint to dry right now, and so the curved line tape, I still have yet to see the results. And so this model is also going to be, this portion of the model is also going to have some experimentation done. So what we're going to be doing is our blue, and basically what it is, so if you see here on the untaped off section, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going blue. We're going to be blocking off this bottom section. I want this bottom section to be the base color. And then in here, within this box, we are going to be doing the blue. And then, as you saw here, we are also going to be blocking off this portion here, blocking off the top portion, which we're going to be doing with our dark gray that we saw in the previous episode, the German gray. And we're going to be doing blue along the top here. Otherwise, the rest of the model is going to go ahead and get blocked off. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and move that piece out of the way as it's ready to go. We're going to be using a combination of... What is this? This is... is this the 6mm? Boy, I'm starting to lose track here. So this is our 10mm. This is going to be... Yep, this is a 6mm. Where's the 5? It is a 6, so this is 6mm masking tape. And then we have our 5mm curved line tape. So, let's go ahead and start with the curved line tape because I'm a heathen for doing things that I enjoy. I can say this stuff is so much nicer to work with than the AK stuff, which kind of doesn't surprise me, actually. It's Tamiya, and you all know how much I love Tamiya. So, we're going to be just running the tape down along on the inside, and we're going to be doing 2 layers of the tape. So we're going to start just on one end, and I'm going to try to push it up against the edge so that we have a little bit of a place to start. And this isn't too heavy of a curve, but it is enough. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sticking just to the outside of the panel line. We're going to go ahead and get paint inside the panel lines here today. And then we will come back along later and do our capillary work. I've decided that this model is also going to get that. It's going to be a lot, but I've decided that's going to be the case. And if you can ever have a perfect tape cut, look at that. Man, perfection. Beautiful. Now, one of the things that I really need to focus on is making sure that I'm pressing along the edge of the model to seal my tape in. I want to try to prevent any sort of paint leakage through here if we can. We have some cleanup work to do on the model, and I want to try to prevent that going forward. So, I'm going to go ahead and grab another piece. Let's see if I can replicate my goodness here. We'll see. And then with this one, we're going to take the piece of tape and we're going to kind of stick it so it wraps around the edge and also protects the front up here. Almost perfection. Nice. And I'm going to pull this over just a little bit more so that we can get it wrapped around. The saran wrap's going to be there, but I also want the saran wrap as something to stick to. Okay, so that's the end of our curved line tape for now. Yeah, am I happy with that? I'm not happy with the bottom. But it doesn't matter because that ends there. Never mind. So now let's go ahead and cut a piece of our... Let's go ahead and try to get a couple pieces measured here. We're going to go about that much. And we're going to be doing 2 pieces this size to just cover along the bottom. And once again, the saran wrap's going to be covering, but I want to make sure that I have a double overlap here, just in case. And down here is where a phaser strip is going to go, so I'm not too worried about paint leaking through because there's going to be a piece that sticks over the top there. Alright. Well, that's not too bad of a pull of the tape right there. Of course I did measure, so... Don't pat yourself too hard on the back, Jordan. Okay. So this one is a little shorter, I guess. Sure. Actually winds up working out just fine. Okay, so now let's go ahead and grab another piece of our 10mm. And I thoroughly recommend getting multiple all the sizes of the tape. You're going to need all of them for all of your different little things. So, we're going to need about like that. Perfect. Then, going to line it up. This is where I'm going to employ my tweezers. I'm not happy with that end, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to the other side here. It just wasn't that very straight of a piece, and so I wasn't able to get it to line up really well. There we go. And I'm going to have a piece of tape that's going to come over this way, so I'm not too worried about it going all the way up to the edge. So now, I'm going to go ahead and just stay outside of the panel line. There we go. And once again, as with the curved line tape, I'm going to make sure that my tape is nice and sealed up over on the edges. And we're doing that to make sure that there's just no paint bleed. You know, I don't want that. Like I said, we gave ourselves some work last time, and I'm going to try to avoid that this time. So we're going to go about that much. Probably could just rip it, but I do like to keep my lines nice and clean and tight. So now, come up here, just over the top of that. Not too far. I'm going to go over a little bit, actually, and cut off a piece with my knife. Well, I didn't do that on the other side, so I wonder how I approach that. It's been a couple minutes. I would say probably about half hour or so has gone since I finished the other side. we go. Although, there we go. Yep, that turned out good. Although we have a little bit more. That turned out good. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and take a small piece. And we're going to run it. Where'd it go? Just straight up. We're just going to run it straight up. I am going to, careful, there we go, very nice. This should produce some nice clean lines. Now, I'm going to switch over to my 6mm tape. And I'm going to grab a really long strip. And let's go ahead and start down here. Huh. Nyeh. Huh. There we go. Just sticking everywhere. Okay. Yep, that was the right size, basically. So now we're just going to run that straight down. Very good. And you can kind of curve the masking tape just a little bit, but not a whole lot. Okay, so now let's go ahead and make sure that's nice and sealed in. Next, we are going to take our tape and we're going to mark off this area right here. So we're going to grab another strip. And this strip is too long and is driving me crazy. There we go. This sticky stuff. It's wonderful for this effect, but man, I hate dealing with tape and things that stick to my fingers. I really do. I don't know why. If I can't get it off, I get frustrated really quick. It's kind of ridiculous, actually, if I do say so myself. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run a strip right along here. I want it to go all the way over to the edge here. So now I'm going to go ahead and carefully position that. Okay. So now let's come along here. We're trying to get right up against the edge without folding up. I will take my X-Acto knife and clean it up if I need to, but I'm trying to avoid that. I did that on the other side and kind of did a classic Jordan here and kind of cut into the model a little bit. And so I'm trying to avoid that wherever I can. There we go. There we go. That's better. I didn't try this approach last time, and I was kind of like looking at it going, okay, that's how we do that. Try to be as efficient for you guys when I'm filming these days. Trying to avoid really, really long episodes. Alright, that's ready to go. And then, our final piece of tape here, before we put on our saran wrap and then seal that in. And then we're going to head to the booth. By booth, I'm going to make sure I'm doing the right thing here. By booth, I mean the place for my paint. Keeps piling up. I am looking at a paint booth. But they're not really conducive for recording. So I don't know. I may design a better cardboard box one like what I have now. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Oh, that was a good one. And you just let the paint or the tape stick to your hand. Just like that. God. Okay. This is where we employ our tweezers because I'm getting frustrated. I've been doing a lot of tape work today, and gotta be honest, I'm kind of over it right now. Okay, there we go. Tweezers really help with this process, actually. I need to be more cognizant of that. Oh no. I need to pull up just a little bit. Start here at the end. Take my X-Acto knife and take my X-Acto knife and kind of cut it off around the end there. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now, let's go ahead and fold that over. And then let's grab our knife. Just gonna cut it off here at the end. Okay, let's go and pull that off. Go. Let's go ahead and get that sealed in. Nice and tight. And what I'm doing, and I'm pulling towards the edge where I want it to seal. Okay. Very nice. All right. So that is our parts. Oh, almost. I'm going to grab just a piece of our 10mm here. I'm going to come along the back here. That's what I didn't do on the other side, and I kind of regretted it. Okay. There we go. So now, let's go ahead and get our tape out of the way here real quick, and then let's grab my piece of saran wrap. And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this down over the top. Now, I'm going to start at the bottom I'm going to press into the area where I want to paint. And then I'm going to push down and slide out, kind of sealing the bottom in. I'm going to seal along every surface that I have tape on. And I'm going to push pretty hard here, making sure to fully seal it along the tape. Because what we're going to do is we're going to cut along the tape, peel off the piece that we don't want to have on there while painting. Okay. Now, real quick, I'm going to take the rest of this, wrap it around to protect any spray that might happen. And then when we wrap it around here, sorry, got a little ahead of myself. When we wrap it around here, what we need to do is make sure we're pulling it tight over this area and over underneath. So I kind of like pulled it, wrapped it underneath over there because I want to be able to cut around this as well. Okay. So now that's all sealed in and nice. I'm going to press in the areas where I don't want any paint. And this is just double protection. If for whatever reason the tape fails, there's no air for it to go through and paint through, so that's at least the thought. There we are. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go probably about, maybe 1/8 of an inch up along the edge. And I'm just going to very gently go over the top. Tried to be smooth there, but it didn't quite work. And we're going to cut out our piece. And then I'm going to kind of move up to the middle here. Then come back down. All right. Let's see how we did. Pretty good, apparently, because it's not wanting to unseal. There we go. I was like, wow. Okay. Oh, we have not completed. I thought so. I thought it was a little weird here. Okay. Okay, so just like that. Now we're going to go through, pull off any excess pieces here. We're going to go in once again and seal up against the edge of our tape one more time. And before we cut out this piece, I'm going to take some of our tape here. And I'm just going to kind of guesstimate our sizes of tape. Stupid piece of tape, oh my god. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come along on the inside here, where we cut, and I'm going to come back over. And that's just sealing the saran wrap at the edge. Like I said, I don't know if that was the reason for the bleed. I think the bleed happened because I was using the wrong tape, if I'm being real, but I also saw this as an issue last time and saw the need to fix that for the next time we painted. So there we go. That one was almost a messy placement, but we could have always fixed that. Okay. So now, before we go any further, Jordan, start where you know you don't want to go over. There we go. Before we go any further, we're going to come up through here and cut out our piece. So we're going to start here. And then go here. Then come up and meet where we finished cutting out over here. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to cut up along the inside here, being very gentle. That hit the tape, so we're good. There we go. Cut down into here and then back down to where we cut before. All right. Now if I did this right, oop. Made a mistake there. Okay. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is tuck that underneath. Paste that in. Make sure that that is outside. We're all sealed up real nice there. And it's double sealed up with tape, so I'm not too worried about the blowback from there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to grab our final couple pieces of tape, get them put into place, and then we're going to go ahead and head on into the booth and do some airbrush work, which I'm super excited about. So I'm just going to come along just inside. And then match up my tape from earlier. There we are. And then, because this part is all taped off and I got it just the way I want it, we're just going to be putting some tape right through here. So, grab a big piece of tape. About that much. Perfect. Just hop on the inside there just to make sure that we're getting back where we cut. There we go. All right, so the two parts that we wanted exposed are exposed. Everything else is nice and covered up. I'm going to come through here, seal in my ends just by pressing really, really hard as I can without like deforming the model. And then just realize we have one more piece of tape that I need to put on. Let's go ahead and move this piece out and that out. Kind of glad to be done with tape for the day, to be real with y'all. Let's find our end. Okay, I've gone all the way around. There we go. I literally started exactly where it was, so I was like, I've gone all the way around. Like, this is awful. Okay, just gonna grab that about that much. There we go. Set our tape off to the side. That's driving me nuts. That's driving me nuts. And so go back over the top there. And just over the edge. So now we are all super nice and sealed in, ready to go. And if I did my job right here, both of our pieces look pretty damn similar, don't they? Very nice. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn up the music a little bit here. Going to go ahead and get her into the booth. And we're going to go ahead and drop on 9 coats because that's what we do. And then we'll be back to peel some tape, which is super satisfying to me these days. And we'll talk about the results. We'll be back. All right, so we are back, and I have thrown 9 coats onto the side of the engineering section, and it went on just beautifully. I gotta say, the more time that I spend with the airbrush, the more time I understand how it works, and I'm getting better with it. I understand how to keep the flow going. It's very interesting. Like when I was doing the first blue lines on the ship, I was still kind of struggling a little bit. And here, I was able to just, I did it over the course of, so it is the next day. I wound up doing 1 coat every 10 minutes. So basically, I did 9 coats. It took about an hour and a half to paint it. But I was able to leave the airbrush just sitting there. And I was able to just quickly get it moving again. No problem. Didn't have any funky spraying until the very last coat, which was to be expected. And then I went ahead and just let it dry overnight. I put a couple of fans on it and just let everything dry. I have since edited and uploaded the previous episode just for timescape wise, kind of see where we're at. And after the debacle with all of the curved line tape and all of that, I'm really looking forward to removing the tape here, knowing that they're going to be clean lines. Now, one of the things that I was definitely thinking about, and the reason why we're probably experiencing some bleed, is because I'm using a paintbrush and I'm going much thicker on the paint than we are with the airbrush. The airbrush goes on really light each time, so I imagine we're not going to see any bleed, I hope. The only place where we do have the curved line tape is just here along where the deflector dish is going to be. So I think we get started, and I think this is one of the coolest processes ever. I really am enjoying just untaping, unpackaging these models. I don't know why. It's just so much fun. So I'm going to go ahead and do the satisfying thing here and remove our saran wrap. And let's see, I did a really good job of sealing this in here. So goodness. Yeah, I did a really good job. Now, for the moment of truth. Oh, yeah. Dude. Yes. Very nice. No bleed, no paint through. A little bit wrapped around here. Very nice. This method with the cling wrap, man, it's amazing. Well, that's cool. All right, let's go ahead. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. So let's go ahead and grab our tweezers here and do the awesome thing. We start, and let's pull here. Oh, no. Of course, pull a little too aggressively. Oh yeah, look at that. Super nice. Well, there is a line from the tape. Curious what that's all about. Or it was a scratch. Oh, I know what that was. That was a scratch from me coming through and cutting. I need to be a little bit more careful. No worries. We'll be able to, I'll putty that up. No worries. Oh, man. I gotta say, getting some nice, clean lines. Look at that. Just getting some nice, clean lines is just making me super, super, super happy. Thank goodness. After the debacle of the last episode. The last couple bits of paint that I've done have not been up to my par, so I'm a little upset of late, to be real. But once again, you don't learn to do things unless you fail. And so I'm not actually that upset anymore, now that we've kind of moved past it all. So, oh man. No bleed whatsoever. Oh, dude. Tamiya, thank you. Now let's go ahead and see. This is going to be the kind of test for me. I'm a little skeptical on the curved line tape. As I've been kind of going through, I've been like, you know, do we just use the straight line method and, you know, just use a bunch of little pieces of tape? And that's on my mind, and this is going to be a determining factor right here. So let's see if we have any bleed. So far, so clean. Oh, man. I think it's just the brush work on there. Oh, God, look at that. Yes. Okay. Very pleased. Very, very pleased. Very excellent. Okay. So now I'm just going to kind of pull up my edges here. There we go. And finish pulling the rest of that up. Oh, man. Dude. Oh. Clean. Yes. Excellent news. Just a tiny little bit of bleed right there. You know what? I will take that. That is a win 100%. No problems at all there. Super clean. Oh, very pleased. Now, let's see how this part turned out. I was curious to see if this tape work was going to work up here. I was on the fence of how I was going to handle this paint, but we just went ahead and rolled with it. Alright. So that blue turned out really good there. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Very nice. I gotta say, I am very pleased with that result. That is exactly what I was looking for. Ah, yes. Finally a good paint job. Yes! Alright, let's go ahead and do some more Hedon work, shall we? I love it. Let's go ahead and peel off the back of our saran wrap. This is great. Now, obviously, only half the equation is done here, but yeah, we'll see. Completely unwrap so that we can pour it all from one shot. And while I have it over, I'm going to separate all of our pieces of tape around the edges here. So, anything that's going to prevent us from having hedonistic approaches to things. Sucker for good times. Alright. Yeah. Airbrush is where I'm definitely more comfortable. My brush work, like my hand brush work, I still need to do some work on. And I need to research into why I was getting so much bleed. I do believe it's because of the just sheer number of hole panels that we have up top. And then the bleed that I got on the Defiant was for a different reason. So I was rushing. And so I think that it's just the sheer number of hull panels. And so, like I said, during the last episode, I'm not too worried about what wound up happening there, because in the end, we are going to hull panel line it anyway. So I looked into some options for that besides creating my own, and I think I'm going to keep creating my own, actually. Okay, so now here's our... kind of gross looking like that, but oh yeah, oh, that's super good. Look at that. It's kind of cool. Like, I mean, you're stuck. You just kind of see where the paint, you know, goes and where it doesn't go, and man, it's so good. Okay, now let's go ahead and start with the curved line tape up front. I want to see if I got the same result on both sides. Okay, so the curved line tape is going to stay in our rotation here, but I think I need to employ differently. So I'm going to, I need to look. I'm not sure if there is. I'm going to look after I get done filming this segment here. I'm going to look to see if there's like practice plastic, like pieces of model plastic that I can practice on that I can clean off and what have you. So let's go ahead and pull there. because I need to practice taping and what have you. Oh, yeah, look at that. Ooh, that was a good one. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, yes. Those are really good. Pleased. Very good. Yeah, this all turned out really good. I'm much more comfortable with the airbrush, obviously. But I'm going to get a practice piece of plastic. I'm sure they exist. I got a couple small pieces of like leftover model pieces, but they're really small, so. Alright, oh man. Dude, yeah, that turned out really good. Okay. Now, which way did I tape? I taped this way, so we're going to pull this way. And for our final tape pull of the day, let's see if I can accomplish this with one pull and a supremely... Oh, I would not have. So I have not separated this tape up here. Okay. Let's see if we can get this in one shot, y'all. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh. The final pull. Goodness me. This one should be good, too. Oh, yeah. There it is. The final pull. And again, the exact desired result. I am very pleased with how this turned out. I gotta say, me and the airbrush are good friends. Me and the paintbrush need some work. So, that's what I got for you guys today. I'm really pleased with the work we've done over the last probably 18 hours or so. I slept on it, literally. And the results were exactly what I was looking for. So, I just want to say thank you. I know that there was a million things y'all could have done today, and instead you spent a couple minutes with me watching me build a model, and I think that's pretty damn cool. If you guys have any questions, comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. Oh, and my friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world, wherever you happen to be. And just remember that revenge is a dish best served cold.